This week on ATV News, a train crashed in New Jersey, NASA updated astrological signs, and residents of Flint, Michigan still do not have clean water to drink. I'm Kathryn Malone.
And I'm Nadia Slocum. ATV News starts now.
Perhaps the most well-known internet meme, Pepe the Frog, has been added to the Anti-Defamation League's database of hate symbols. After many years of innocent variations of this famously sad frog, more recently this cartoon has been used as a symbol of bigotry through its portrayal of racist groups and stereotypes. The ADL has stated that while the harassers have abused their use of the common meme, not all forms of Pepe are hateful. It's largely dependent on context.
It's been 1 year since health officials in Michigan warned the people of Flint, Michigan to stop drinking the tap water after a research team from Virginia Tech discovered elevated lead levels. Today, a year later, Flint still does not have clean water to drink. The city's use of lead pipes to pump water from the Flint River has caused corrosion to form after an 18-month period, which is estimated to have exposed tens of thousands of Flint residents to contaminated water. Flint has received over $27 million from the state to repair the old pipelines, but due to stipulations on who could be hired to reconstruct the pipelines, progress has been put on hold, leaving thousands of residents exposed to life-threatening bacteria and to be left without any clean drinking water. Let's go to Penny Commit with the latest in entertainment.
Thanks, Nadia. I'm Penny Commit, and I'll be bringing you the latest entertainment headlines from this week. Last week, Hollywood and hopeless romantics everywhere experienced the devastating breakup of power couple Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Recent headlines from various news sites, including Us Weekly, tell us that Angelina is now trying to destroy Brad Pitt and his reputation. Rumors have spread smearing Pitt, saying that he has become verbally and physically abusive towards his children. The specific incident under question occurred on the family's private jet, and since it happened in mid-air, the investigation is being conducted under the FBI. And who is behind the investigation? Pitt's soon-to-be ex-wife, Angelina Jolie herself. On a lighter note, Gilmore Girl lovers everywhere are raving about the new revival of the show that will appear as a Netflix exclusive this November. After a poster was released this week of characters Lorelai and Rory Gilmore drinking their beloved coffee, it is now official that the fan favorite will make its revival on November 25th. The remake will be called Gilmore Girls, A Year in the Life, and will premiere as a 4-part event. But if you can't wait a whole 2 months to binge watch something on Netflix, you're in luck. Starting on October 1st, Netflix will be adding brand new TV series and movies to stream. The company is keeping it spooky this month by adding some horror to their palette, with Season 3 of sci-fi series Black Mirror and the latest season of American Horror Story Hotel. But if you're looking for a pick-me-up or a comfy night in, grab your popcorn because Netflix is also adding some fan-favorite film classics, such as The Titanic, A Cinderella Story, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Unfortunately, there will be some removals from the media streaming service. These include some of the reality shows that make your mouth water, such as Chopped and Cupcake Wars, along with all 3 of the Back to the Future movies. Well, that's all for ATV Entertainment. I'm Penny Commit, now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Penny. I don't know about you, Nadia, but I think I'm just going to spend the next week binge watching the new Netflix shows.
But I can't believe my favorite Cutthroat Kitchen is going to be cut soon.
But there's always Food Network.
True.
A fatal Jersey Transit accident killed 1 and left 114 others injured when a train crashed at the Hoboken station. This incident occurred during rush hour and highlighted the faults of the outdated safety system Jersey Transit has in place. An investigation following this crash will look into the recently recovered event recorder that could contain important information about train speed, brakes, and throttle. New Jersey Transit train services are currently suspended at the Hoboken station, but a separate system continues to run.
Social media has been flipped upside down after readers have realized that what they thought was their astrological sign might not be the same as they thought before. NASA has updated the astrological calendar, changing over 80% of the population under a new sign, while adding another, auspicious, to the mix. NASA states that it has been over 3,000 years since the Babylonians drew up the zodiac. The Earth's axis has shifted slightly, so the new astrological signs have been changed. According to NASA, due to a shift in the Earth's axis, the constellations don't line up in the same way that they did back then. NASA says initially there were 13 signs, but the Babylonians decided to leave one out in order to better reflect the 12-month calendar. So readers, I guess you better think again before you look up those horoscope compatibilities or check those daily horoscopes again.
Now we go to Mariah Espada with sports.
Thanks, Kathryn. I'm Mariah Espada, and here's what's happening in sports. This week, the baseball world mourned the loss of Marlins star Jose Fernandez, who tragically died in a boating accident this past Monday. After the devastating loss of the 24-year-old pitcher, the Marlins beat the Mets in an emotional 7-3 game in Miami. As we head into October, look forward to the playoffs for Major League Baseball to commence. On a lighter note, Team Canada dominated and took the 2016 World Cup of Hockey as expected. Sidney Crosby led the team when scoring 10 points and assisting on the tying goal as Canada defeated Team Europe 2-1 to claim the first World Cup played after a 12-year hiatus. Oh, Canada. In the NFL's third week, the Giants and Redskins rivalry grew stronger as Odell Beckham Jr. and Josh Norman battled on the field for the first time since their infamous brawl last season. The Redskins won on a last-minute interception from Giants quarterback Eli Manning. We'll see if Manning can live up to his reputation and redeem himself in the Giants vs. Vikings game this upcoming Monday. For sports, I'm Mariah. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Mariah. Now we go to Jonah Wolf with finance.
Thanks, Nadia. I'm Jonah Wolf, and here's what happened this week in business. Fallout from the Wells Fargo scandal continued. The company's CEO, John Stumpf, was called back before Congress Thursday to explain why Wells Fargo employees opened more than 2 million fraudulent accounts in customers' names, but without their knowledge. The bank has been fined $185 million by federal regulators, and this week, Stumpf was forced to return $41 million in bonuses and stock options. He says he will not resign. Trouble also continued this week for Yahoo after the company revealed last week that hackers accessed as many as 500 million accounts in 2014. Sources from inside Yahoo are now saying that the total may be north of 1 billion. Meanwhile, Yahoo is also facing scrutiny from lawmakers on Capitol Hill who want to know why it waited 2 years before announcing the hack. There's no word yet on how this might influence Yahoo's pending merger with Verizon. Meanwhile, regulators in California have cleared the way for testing of a totally self-driving car in that state. These cars won't have any steering wheel or human backup. Of course, restrictions apply. Currently, just 15 companies have permits to operate the vehicles on state roads. Finally, here's how the markets did this week. The S&P 500 gained just shy of 15 points to close at 2,168. The Dow Jones Industrial Average closed at 18,310, up from 18,150. And the Nasdaq Composite gained 39 points to close at 5,311. That's all for this week on the Business Desk. I'm Jonah Wolf for ATV News. Back to the studio.
Thanks, Jonah. I love the idea of a self-driving car. If I never had to drive again, I'd be the happiest person in the world.
I know, but DC traffic is a little ridiculous. I don't know about that.
But if your car did all the work, it's no stress for you.
I guess I could do homework and drive at the same time.
A new study presented to educators in DC shows that children as young as preschool can feel the disadvantages of implicit racial bias. According to the U.S. Department of Education, black children in preschool are 3 times more likely to be suspended than white children. Studies show that 42% of teachers said black boys require the most of their attention because they are expecting the most challenging behavior from black children, especially boys. Experts believe that we ultimately need more education about implicit bias to move forward from this.
The videos of Zayana Alafant, a small 9-year-old girl from Charlotte, North Carolina, has been going viral as the small girl, almost too small to reach the microphone, cried while speaking her testimony to the city council during the aftermath of the recent shootings. A city council meeting was held on Tuesday due to the aftermath of the death of Keith Scott as Charlotte-Mecklenburg police officers attempted to serve a warrant at an apartment complex in Charlotte. The encounter ended with Scott lying face down in the parking lot, dead. What makes the video of young Zayana so powerful is the passion in her voice as she collects herself and delivers her message loud and clear. While wiping her cheeks on her shirt sleeves, she says, "We are black people, and we shouldn't have to feel this. We shouldn't have to protest because you're treating us wrong. We do this because we need to, and we have rights." Let's go to Elise Metcalf with the latest in politics.
Thanks, Kathryn. Welcome to ATV Politics. I'm Elise Metcalf. The presidential debate took place this Monday, attracting 84 million viewers and making it the most watched debate in history. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton clashed on numerous issues, including trade, the Iran nuclear deal, and internet hacking. The controversies over Trump's refusal to release his tax returns and Clinton's private email server were also brought to light again. Polls released shortly after the debate showed a general consensus of Clinton having won the debate. Tuesday morning saw former Miss America Alicia Machado making the headlines after Clinton referenced her during the debate as a victim of Trump's degrading treatment of women. Trump's reiteration of these views on Fox Morning Show the next day fueled further questions about his views and attitudes towards women. Clinton did not come away from the debate completely unscathed, with talk returning to her husband's infidelity during his presidency and the choices she made at the time. With voting looming, both candidates were back on the campaign trail this Wednesday, with a heavy focus on the battleground states. Trump appeared in Iowa and Wisconsin, and Clinton was joined by Senator Bernie Sanders at the University of New Hampshire, where the pair promoted a plan to make public college free for working families as a part of her latest efforts to secure the millennial vote. President Obama faced disappointment this week after Congress overrode his veto, pushing for a bill that allows legal action against Saudi Arabia over the 9/11 attacks. The president called the decision a mistake, warning that it set a dangerous precedent that could put U.S. interests at risk. That's it this week for politics. For ATV News, I'm Lee Metcalf. Back to Nadia and Katie in the studio.
Thanks, Elise. Did you actually watch the debate?
Actually, I did. MGC was heated. Everyone was in there.
Yeah, it was definitely a really intense debate. All the interruptions going to make for a huge decision come November.
What I thought was interesting was all the gear, like Trump hats, Trump t-shirts, Hillary caps, like everything.
AU is really decked out in preparation for this election.
Yeah.
Next we go to Samita Bhattarai with our World News Report.
Thanks, Nadia. I'm Samita Bhattarai. This week in World News, we're going to Israel, where Nobel Peace Prize winner, former Prime Minister, and former President of Israel, Shimon Peres, died at the age of 93. Peres was well known for many things, such as being behind the Oslo Accords. He was also well recognized for his work in politics and was considered one of the last pillars from the founding generation of Israel. World leaders such as President Barack Obama, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, and French President François Hollande were in attendance at the funeral. Moving on, a voting will go on today in Colombia on a peace agreement with its largest rebel group called the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, or FARC. Both leaders of FARC and the Colombian government have signed the peace agreement, however, it requires the citizens of the country to make the last decision. The approval of this agreement will bring Colombia's 52-year war to an end. Upon approval, seats in the Senate and House of Representatives will be guaranteed to the FARC even if the 2018 election does not turn out in their favor. Lastly, a plan for a space mission was launched by the United Nations. This mission will include experiments from various different countries who are unable to afford a space program of their own. This collaboration with the Sierra Nevada Corporation and the many countries participating is planned to launch in 2021. All UN member states are able to apply. However, the main focus of the project is aimed for developing countries. With that being said, a big question that arises from this project is on its funding. Each country participating will have to pay a fee. However, the total cost is said to be reduced as the spacecraft itself will not be built or funded under the UN, but will be done by separate programs. That's all for World News. I'm Samita Bhattarai. Let's take it back to the desk.
Thanks, Samita. I always love hearing about the UN getting all the countries together to work towards one common project.
Really? And then the whole idea of space travel being involved in that's just a major plus.
We've evolved so much from the great space race of the 60s to a collaborative effort in exploration.
Exactly.
The governor of California signed a new piece of legislation mandating prison sentences for any individual that sexually assaults an unconscious or intoxicated victim.
The first public hearing will be held on Wednesday for legislation to lift the tax put on feminine products in the District of Columbia. For decades, most states have taxed tampons and related products at the same rates as other household goods. The D.C. jurisdiction classifies feminine products as being luxury goods. The D.C. residents currently don't pay sales tax on groceries and medically necessary drugs, including Viagra. Law officials state that by eliminating a tax on these products, we will naturally have an impact on the tax revenue. But in the same context, most women advocates see the new bill as a way to positively impact families, allowing them to not have to worry about paying high prices for their everyday necessities. Let's go to Erin Doran and Danielle Dumais with What's Up AU.
Thanks, Kathryn. Hi, I'm Erin Doran.
And I'm Danielle Dumais, and this is What's Up AU.
This Monday was the first presidential debate for the 2016 election. AU groups hosted multiple watch parties, including the AU College Republicans and the College Dems. Hundreds of memes, GIFs, and photos circulated around social media after the debate. Unfortunately, despite the overwhelming social response, it is expected that less than half of eligible voters will actually turn up for the polls. So, no matter who you thought won the debate, or if you think each party is equally non-votable, we encourage you to go out and vote. Young voters were one of the key factors in the re-election of Barack Obama back in 2012. He won the 18 to 29-year-old vote over Romney by over 5 million votes. So get out and register.
Now for some upcoming events that everyone should look out for. On Tuesday, October 4th, the Trans and Non-Binary Collective will be putting on non-binary training for both cis and non-cis kids in the Ward Circle Classroom 104 from 8 to 10 p.m. On Wednesday at 8 p.m., the Korean Student Association will have its weekly talk night. This event is geared towards students who want to learn Korean but don't have enough time to take a language course, or just want some practice. This will be happening at MGC 303A. On Thursday, October 6th, the Career Center will be hosting the first employer exchange event in MGC 2-5 from 5 to 7 p.m. This is a great way for students to attend information sessions and discuss job and internship opportunities with employers. The Career Center and the Kogod Center for Career Development will also be hosting the Deloitte Case Interview Workshop on Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. in the Butler Boardroom, featuring AU alumni speakers. Also on Thursday, join CNN political commentators and former presidential campaign strategists for conversation and Q&A about the upcoming election at 8 p.m. in the Tavern. Or head over to Ward 2 to watch the film Street Sense at 6:30 p.m., which was shot, directed, and produced by homeless filmmakers in D.C.
On Friday, the Anime Society will be hosting their weekly screening in MGC 200 at 9 p.m. Attendees are allowed to nominate and vote on the shows for the evening. On Saturday, the Student Board Union, in partnership with the members of the Darkening, will be hosting a musical memorial to honor the victims of police violence. This will feature singer Mamouna Yosef. The show will kick off at 1 p.m. and the memorial will begin at 5 in the Woods Brown Amphitheater.
I'm Danielle.
And I'm Erin.
And this has been What's Up AU. Back to Kathryn and Nadia in the studio.
Thanks, Erin and Danielle. I just love hearing about on-campus events. It's so helpful.
There's so much to do around here, you can never be bored.
Yeah, even though my schedule is pretty busy, I just love being able to hear about new internships and new job opportunities too.
Definitely.
I'm Nadia Slocum.
And I'm Kathryn Malone. This has been ATV News. Don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.